Hey, you're back with Steve and Damon on the Penny Stupid podcast. This video, we're talking all about Damon's adventures in Amazon FBA, getting started, his sourcing experience, and something about letters you got in the mail.
I'm still smelling that poop, man. It's hard to concentrate, but yeah, here's some letters.
Well, hold on a second. This is very disjointed. Unless you saw the bonus segment on the previous video, you won't understand the comment about the Damon shitting his pants or whatever that was.
No, it's my Maltese, man. I left my office door crack last night, and she...
Hey, I don't want to hear about your crack.
She partook in the opportunity for some privacy, and it was not good for me this morning.
All right, watch the last video.
This rug's going to the curb. The next video will be very echoey because I will not have a rug here.
Watch the last video, the bonus section at the end, to learn more about the Maltese situation. All right, let's talk about your FBA.
FBA. Oh, is that my cue?
Yeah. It's your
All right.
FBA.
So I've been sourcing products. I've been attempting to source products. I've been trying not to get frustrated as I'm spending hours and hours. And we'll go into why I'm having a hard time. But I think it's an important lesson for new people. This is really good stuff. I'm very glad I have Steve helping me out because I would have been even more frustrated without it. But it also, though, doesn't help, Steve, as I'm sourcing products and then as I call with my frustrations of I'm gated and I can't do this. And you're like, oh, well, that sucks. Oh, I'm at $2,000 today. Like,
well, let's add some reality to this. My first few months was this difficult, horrible slog.
I know. But this is why we want to do the podcast, to let people know it's not all the sunshine, rainbow, unicorn stuff where you're just going to buy a course and you're just going to be like, oh, rent is paid.
Take a course, be a millionaire.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. And the biggest frustration I'm having, I told Steve, I don't know if it was on a podcast or just us talking, but I think one of my biggest problems is he found me those printers right off the gate where it was $150 profit each, where I grabbed 6 printers, I box them up, I ship them to Amazon, and I'm going to make $950. 2 of them have already sold. There's 4 still waiting to be sold. And so the way my brain was I kept looking, okay, I want more products like that because, that was, easy work for $900. And my frustration is, I'm using Source Mogul, I'm going through these products, and I'm spending hours and hours and hours, and I'm learning the metrics that Steve's, showing me, and okay, look at this, now look at this. So I'm getting better at that. But the frustration really comes in every time I think I found a product that might work, I'm not allowed to sell it. And then you have to go through the process of ungating, and we can get into that on another video. And I finally got to a point where I wasn't even looking at anything except whether I could sell a product because it made no sense. I was just looking at all these different, oh, okay, yeah, they're selling 50 a month, and there's only 2 other FBA sellers, and this is the price, and oh, okay, get the discount again. Oh, great. Oh, I'm gated. Okay, click. Oh, I have to get an invoice with 10 units in order. Okay, I can't sell that, or it's IP issue, or it's on the dangerous goods list.
Well, you made a comment to me yesterday. You said we both pulled up the same thing and we looked at it, and I went through these 30 items, and you said, how do you do it that fast? And the answer to that is I did everything that you're doing now, and I know automatically Gillette, JBL, Hasbro. I'm just not going to be qualified for those yet. And so I can just skip, and work my way through a list really fast. And you will get there too.
Well, and the reality too is, Steve doesn't have like a job. So he's got, he doesn't have kids, right?
No.
So when Steve started, he had a lot of time that you could devote towards really figuring this stuff out. And by having Steve, and Steve didn't have a Steve. Like he had to figure it out, right? So at least I have a Steve, so that helps out when, I've got other stuff going on. I still got the consulting, and Steve does a lot of other things too, but he was able to devote a lot of time to this. And but what's important to know though, is that it's going to start slow. No matter how good you are, no matter how dedicated you are, this is not something that you're going to be able to jump into and pay the rent with next month. It's not going to work like that. But I always like to, I don't want to tear it down and without giving the positive, Steve, let's do your quick monthly numbers real quick. Just month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4.
All right.
Profit.
It was profit. Month 1 was 50. Month 2 was 500. Month 3 was 2,900. Month 4 was 11,100.
11,100. This is not sales. This is actual profit from the sales. You can, and that was we just finished January, so it's February 2nd.
So it was actually $27,000 in sales.
Yeah. So it went. Think about that. He slogged through. He did what I'm doing right now, getting frustrated. Now he doesn't get as rattled as I do because I like things to happen. So he just methodically went about. Okay, I have to get ungated. I have to do this. I have to do this. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't sell this product. This is a good deal. You know. So there's just different personalities. Like, I want to sell this product. Damn it, I'm good enough to sell it. So, but he did all of that stuff that I'm doing now without any help or guidance, figuring it out, kind of stumbling along. First month made, I think it was 20. You said 50, but I'm pretty sure I remember it was 25. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
25 or 50. So most people would go, I just spent how many hundreds of hours this month working on this stuff, trying to find products, and I made $50. But the problem is every month builds on the next month. You build on your knowledge. You build on your inventory. And then the next month he's doing the same thing. Made $500. Still, even then you're going, $500, I could do DoorDash for, a couple of days and make $500. Right. So all that work. But then all of a sudden month 3, you start to see it. Wow, that's $3,000.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, now you're starting to get what I could make from DoorDash. And now, boom, month 4, $11,000. So that shows you how it just builds. When you build your skill, you build your knowledge, you start to learn. And more, and almost as important, as you gain experience with Amazon, it's easier to be approved, right? To sell products. Like you're sending in a request and you're getting ungated on products that they look at me and they'd be like,
newbie.
No. Yeah, exactly. Right. So in fact, I got, I tried to log into SellerAmp this morning. I haven't told you this.
No,
I'm blocked. It says, we've noticed unusual activity or something, call customer service.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about, but I can't even log into my SellerAmp. I've only got one product up there.
No. You mean Seller Central?
Seller Central, like Amazon.
All right. Amazon. Okay.
I try to log in. It won't let me log in. And I've had my customer rep, account rep. He called me again this morning. He was calling me so much, I assume he's trying to sell me something. But now I'm thinking maybe he's calling me to verify something. And
hey, I would talk to him in a heartbeat. If somebody from Amazon
I was going to, but we did this. We had this literally this happened right after I hung up with you where you said, let's do the podcast.
Oh, okay.
You sent me the link. Right. And I went, okay, I'll call him as soon as I get off with the podcast. But anyway, my point being, I've been having a lot of frustration. I've been spending hours and hours and hours. Last night, I fell asleep on my laptop. I was in bed with my laptop trying to find products. And I'm at the point now where I don't even I just do a search on Source Mogul and I just kind of look at the right-hand column. And as long as it's, at least $20 in profit or 15 or whatever, I don't even look at anything else. I'll just click on it and see if I can even sell it. Because that, to me, that's the biggest source of frustration. Why waste my time on looking at metrics or looking at potential returns if I'm only going to then find out I can't sell it? So now it's just a Johnny time waster really in the beginning, but you have to go through that process and just click on all these different brands and try. Some of them are very simple. You click on
automatically approved.
And you're automatically approved.
Yep.
And usually, though, the ones that are easy to get approved are shitty products to sell. Not all the time, but if they're that easy to get approved, that means all the other noobs out there got approved. And so everybody's selling it. So it's even if you get approved, then you really have to start looking at the metrics. We had the situation, last night, right, Steve, on Ulta. And I had a prop. Oh, here it is. These are my first from Ulta, my first products other than the printer.
Getting into cosmetics.
The cosmetics, I went down and picked them up. But we had a situation last night where I sourced these products from Ulta. There was 10 of them, but they didn't have them available in store. Yeah. Thank God they didn't, because I didn't buy them right then. I saved them for later because I got an extra 10% when I went and picked up the items in the store. But you can't check out with shipping items and in-store pickup. You have to do it separate. So I put the shipping items separate. I bought these and I had to go pick up my son, and that was right by the Ulta store. So I went, perfect. I'll swing by and get those. My intent was to buy those other 10, I don't remember, some face cleanser or soap or something. Yeah. I don't know. I was going to buy those 10 because it was a killer deal, right? That was like the best deal I found all day.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was like $15 or $20 in profit. That was the best deal I found all day, per item. And I was going to buy 10. So it was going to be like $150 or whatever it was going to be. And that was like, okay, I spent all day, but I'll make these. So I get home right before I go to order. I thought, let me just look at Seller Amp again just to make sure. Look, all of a sudden I look, the price on Amazon since 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock dropped by $11. And you know what that $11 basically represented?
Your profit.
My profit.
Right.
So had I bought these, I probably would have lost money. And I'm like, what the heck? It literally just happened. I go look, there's a new FBA seller, 380 units in stock for this new seller, moves in, undercuts everybody by $11, 380 units. They're only selling 60 a month. This guy's got this thing locked up for six. Had I bought those products and shipped them into Amazon, I would have been screwed. I would have had to sell them at a loss.
Well,
so I'm all pissed off. I'm calling Steve, and you said, you know who that seller is?
It's the manufacturer.
The fucking manufacturer.
Yeah. Well, so here's what I think happened. There had been up to, I believe, 6 sellers on that item. And for some reason, everybody dropped off. There was only one FBM left and they had 1 unit in stock. And if I was the manufacturer, I don't want people not to be able to buy my product. So I think they just dumped, I don't know, 30
you can't
cases.
blame them.
Yeah.
And you're like, and at first you said, well, that guy's a fool for marketing. And then you didn't realize who it was. And you're like,
then
oh,
I hovered over the name.
They're selling it that cheap because they can, because they're the OG of that product.
That's right.
So this goes back to, you and I go back and forth with it. And again, it's just personalities where you say, well, just get 2 or 3 and see. And this is a situation I was like, I've spent 6 hours trying to source these products. I'm not making any profit. I can't find anything. This is the one product I found. I'm going to get 10 of them because I got to make up for all this time. And I was this close to getting hosed by getting those 10. Because had I bought 2, that would have sucked, but I would have had 2 sitting there for however long I had to sit there.
Yeah.
Versus 10, now it was $250 if I bought 10.
This is my strategy why I go 2 to 4 on my first purchase, is because I think that one of the secrets of my success has been what I call replens. So, replenishments. So I'll send 2 or 4 in. I'll see how it sells. He's making so much
money. He's making up words.
I don't have time to say the whole word. So I'll see how it sells, and then I can go back and reorder that and order more next time. So I'm spreading my risk by testing a bunch of products. I'm just not buying a whole bunch of them at first.
Yeah, and that's a smarter way to do it. It takes more time. You have to be more methodical about it versus oh my gosh, I spent so much time trying to find a good product. I finally found one. I think at least my natural inclination is to want to buy as many of the, once I find a winner, because that's what takes the time. Mm-hmm. Finding the winner. I'm more like, I got to find the home run, and I'm like an all or nothing kind of, and I think I got to shift out of that way of thinking.
Yes.
Because Steve's sitting here pulling in $11,000 his 4th month, not trying to go for the home runs. He's trying,
right.
And I'm like, well, it's got to be at least $50. He's like, no, it doesn't. He's like, I've bought some, $5, $6, $7 profit. Yeah. You buy a couple of them. And, when you do ship, keep in mind, do an FBA versus fulfilled by merchant, FBM. Fulfilled by merchant, these people are taking all these individual products, packaging them up individually, and sending them to the end buyer, right? That's a lot of work if you're going to do a lot of product. But with FBA, it costs more. They charge more fees. But Steve, how many products did you send out? I think it was yesterday. And how many boxes was that?
Yeah, it was 96 units and like 4 boxes.
Yeah. So he is 96. Now, if he was doing for sale by or fulfilled by merchant, he would have had to package 96 different things at different times when they sold. But with Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon, I got all this stuff today. It's all going to go in a couple of big boxes. Boom, boom, boom. What do they say? Bada bing, bada boom. And back on the porch for his poor UPS lady to haul away, and he's done. And so Steve's got a system where basically he just gets stuff out every day. Like he doesn't want anything sitting in his office. Whatever comes in, that he's got one of his scanners, boop, 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 scans it in, puts the labels on them, puts them in a big box, right? And back on the porch. It's in and it's out. So Steve is a very successful, what do they call those people that you had to fire? Not the wholesaler, but the fulfillment center, right?
Prep house.
Prep house. So Steve is starting his own, he doesn't know it yet, but he's starting his own prep house business. So fairly soon, you'll be able to send all your shit to Steve and he's going to do it for you.
I mean, I what's very frustrating for me is when you get an order in and there's something wrong or missing. And the prep center just really didn't pay that much attention to it. And I don't want to pay that attention and chase down people for others, for other sellers. Yeah. But I got an order in this morning and it wasn't like one of the items was back ordered. No, it just wasn't on the invoice. It's like it never existed. So I had to spend time chasing that down. Now, we know what we talk about these replens. So I'll order 2 the first time. I'll order like 4 the next time. I'll see how they sell. Still moving. Yes. I'll order 10 the next time. Yep. Things are going okay. And then I'll order 50. So, if the sales will support it, but there's no need to go all in the first time. This is just test and repeat.
Yeah. So I was able to, my mindset now has shifted from looking for the home run to just literally trying to find products that I won't lose money on just so I can send something in and get it sold.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, what Steve says, it's make your bones, but I think he said build your bones or something. He said something.
Earn your bones, whatever about your bones.
Yeah, earn your bones. But that's basically where I'm at, is I've got to get to the point where I can get ungated on some of these, because I see a lot of good deals. I just can't sell them. And if I had, if my account had more history, maybe get a couple of reviews and say, oh, he's bought and sold whatever, a couple hundred products. That's different than bro sold 2 printers and he wants to go sell some $1,000 item or something. So that's kind of where I'm at. I was like, okay. And this is why you don't jump into FBA with the thought of, I'm going to be short on my rent next month, right? Yeah. What you need to do, if you're paycheck to paycheck, you need to get into something that's going to give you cash now. And I know we've said it
like
several
ride
times
share
before. Yeah, but not everybody watches all of our videos, right?
Right.
Just maybe my mom and your wife. My wife doesn't watch our videos. She's like, I hear you talk enough. I don't need to see it on repeat. So, but what you want to do if you're paycheck to paycheck, you're gonna have to have money to buy inventory for FBA. You're gonna have to take the time. You're gonna have to invest the time to learn this, and it's a lot to take in, right? Everybody's different, but it's gonna take some time, and you're gonna have some money to buy some inventory. So if you have time but you don't have money, that's when you need to get into something, like rideshare or any kind of gig work, anything that you can go get money right now. And like I did DoorDash. If you watch the video we just did, I went out and just DoorDash last night for 2 hours. DoorDash, Uber Eats, just right around my house. I was out for 2 hours, made $56. Nothing to write home about, but that's $50 I didn't have. And it was between 9 and 11 o'clock at night when the kids went to bed, my wife went to bed, and I could have, just watched some TV or whatever, but I'll go do some DoorDash and try that out. And really what I was doing was getting my exercise, going up 3 flights of stairs 4 times from an apartment to deliver an order that it was only 400 yards away. But I think I ran 1,000 yards on the stairs. But anyway, you can go make that money and then, don't use that money for rent if you don't need to. Say, hey, whatever
buy
I make
inventory.
doing ride share. Yeah, I'm going to make an extra, if you're doing $50 a night in 2 or 3 hours and you do that 5 times a week in your off time in the evening, right? That's $1,000 a month. Well, maybe you got $200 in car expenses for gas and stuff that month. That leaves you $800 extra that you didn't have from your job. You can stick that in a separate account and say, okay, I'm going to buy my inventory with this $800.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that until you've got enough money coming in from FBA that you maybe no longer need to do the rideshare, or you keep doing the rideshare just to add extra money and grow, because Steve made $11,000 his 4th month in, but he didn't start with zero. Right? If you're not starting with much money, you can't make $11,000 unless you buy enough product to where the profit, the return on investment of that would equal $11,000. So
I think my first month I spent $3,000 on inventory.
Yeah. And then by the second month, you were already running out of credit on a card that you just dedicated just for this. What was the limit on that card?
I think it was 20.
Yeah. And the second month, he's like, Well, I'm running out of the limit because he was buying stuff so fast, and the sales cycle is it depends on what it is, but some of the stuff he was buying from China, it would take 2, 3, 4 weeks to come in. Then you have to get it sent to Amazon. Then they have to list it. Then they have to sell it. So you might buy something today and you don't get that money back
for 2 months.
2 months. Exactly. So he was buying so much that he had a $20,000 card maxed out. Well, some people can do that, but most people can't do that. So don't jump into FBA going, oh, I watched Steve and Damon. I'm going to do what Steve did, and I'm going to make $11,000 my 4th month out. If you're starting with $500, you're not going to make $11,000 if all you have is $500. And now in 4 months, you might have 1,000 coming in, or maybe 2,000. Right. But if you reinvest that money and keep growing it, eventually you can get there. But how much you make is really proportional to how much inventory you can have at any given time. And
well, let me give you an example. What?
The right inventory.
Yeah, the right inventory. So let me give you an example. In helping you with the Ulta thing, it's the first time that I got into cosmetics at all. So I was learning that at the same time, and my cosmetics order was like $100 altogether. But I've never bought cosmetics before, so I'm testing them out. And if you went out and drove or delivered for one night and you had $100, you could do the same thing. Today, I went and bought household items that I've never purchased before, like bleach and candles. But again, I started with a small order. I'm going to test it out, and then if it works, I'll expand it. So you don't have, the good thing is if you're doing like $100 a day from rideshare and you're just reinvesting that, you can go into a bunch of different things like, toys or household goods, and you can test all that stuff, and then you can come back and invest more in what you have proven works for you. Yeah.
And it's a great way to do it. Rideshare, gig work. I don't know if you haven't watched some of our older videos, I've been doing rideshare and gig work for the last couple of months. Steve's been really kind of figuring out this FBA. But the things that I'm doing are things that you can do to make money right now. And if you don't have money, FBA is not where you start. It's the gig stuff, the things that you can just go out, trade some time for dollars, take those dollars, and then start something like an FBA or anything else that you want to eventually grow and build to where you don't have to trade time for dollars.
Exactly.
And that's why I get paid the big bucks.
Damon, I have to go label more products. Here's my labels I've got to apply today, right now. So I got to get them ready for UPS to go out to the warehouse and make money.
I got to rearrange my whole office, roll up this damn rug, and throw it away. So that's what I'm doing today. Everything is sitting on the rug. I got to haul it out into the hallway, desk included. Maybe I'll just get a Sawzall or something and cut the rug so I don't have to move the desk and throw away the part that got crapped on.
You could use a torch and just cauterize that part of the rug.
Just cut a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
That's where my chair goes, right in the hole.
All right. If you want to learn more, this is the first video that you've watched, subscribe. Like the video. That helps a lot. Ring the bell. Be notified. Come back again. Don't forget, we value what you have to share. And thank you. So leave a comment. Leave your feedback. Whatever you want to tell us, please do it down there. Damon, I will see you next time.
Peace.
All right. Well, I'm glad we divided that up in 2 videos.
Oh, it would have been an hour long.
Yeah.
I tend to be short-winded on my stories, Steve.